Willie George Field at Dennis Byrd Stadium, home of the Lincoln Christian High School Bulldogs, who won their high school playoff game last night. But we today are going to have the second grade championships of INFC football. Mike Stewart with Don Rice here, and TYAA trying to go for another championship like they got earlier this morning when they won the first grade championship over Lincoln Christian. Today they play the Eagles in the blue jerseys of Claremore Sequoyah. And Don, how would you sum up this matchup?
This matchup will be pretty similar to what we saw earlier. Possessions will be at a premium, so you cannot make mistakes. As we saw in the first game, one fumble pretty much turned the tide of that ball game and gave TYAA the momentum, which they never gave back. We'll start the ball game with the Bulldogs on offense. That'll put the Eagles on defense. And remember, just like the first game, 8-minute running clock, so the game gets over in a hurry. You can't make mistakes. And extra points, as we saw in the first game, they're so important at youth football level.
Quick rundown both these rosters before we get started. They will begin at the 40-yard line. TYAA Association President Lyndon Goff. Head coaches are Coach Tate and Coach Clayton. Assistant coaches Coach Birmingham and Coach Morrell. Players, number 1, Anthony Justice. Number 2, Chance Montgomery. Number 3, Braylon Freeman. Number 5, Carter Weiss. Number 4, Michael Birmingham III. Number 7, Dash Durant. Number 10, Jace Mackey. Number 12, Samuel Tyra. Number 30, Braden Sample. Number 33, Trayvon Rushing. Number 40, Kobe Thompson. Number 50, Jonathan McCain. Number 55, Keontre Belcher. And number 75, Miles Morrell. And they will be on offense. Game brought to you by Dig Sporting Goods, the official sponsor of INFC football, and Todd's Coffee Roasters out of Oklahoma City, the official sponsor of the Southern Sports Network. Try run through Claremore Sequoyah Eagles roster here real quick. Association President Justin Neer. Lead contact Aaron Hall. Head coach Hunter Webster, the head coach. Assistant coaches Trevor Hall, Dalton Reynolds, and Barry Webster. First play from scrimmage here. TYAA with the football, looking to run it. And it looks like he may be brought down in the backfield. Took a shot at the tackle, and he's brought down at the 36-yard line.
Trenton Hall for the Eagles came across the line of scrimmage. He made the initial hit and grabbed an ankle, held on for help to arrive, and we did that with number 22, Wyatt Webster.
So Trenton Hall and Wyatt Webster, two of the captains here for Sequoyah. Claremore, Knox Mayer, number 6, and Riker Reynolds, the other two captains, Reynolds wearing number 15. Other players include number 8, Asher Murray, number 11, Zane Shader, number 13, Jackson Hadley, number 21, Hunter Logsden, number 27, Ryder Bowen, and number 75, Easton Hyde. Those are your Claremore Sequoyah Eagles in the blue uniforms. So as we get ready for second down and long here, 14 yards to go. And the Claremore Sequoyah Eagles are not having any of it. He maybe got a yard or two on that. Third down and long coming up, and then we see the defensive players getting fired up. That's number 6, Knox Maynard, and number 75, Easton Hyde, getting excited.
Well, so far it's been the story of the down linemen for the Eagle team. They've dominated the line of scrimmage on the first two plays, and the Bulldogs look at third down 12.
Third down, 12, quarterback takes a snap, gives it to his running back, and then the running back breaks 2 tackles, still running and is tripped up right at around the 45, gets down to about the 47 or 48, still short of the first down. That was number 3 for TYAA, Braylon Freeman.
You got to credit Riker Reynolds. Came all the way across the field with the shoestring tackle. He was the only one between pay dirt for the Bulldogs on that play.
So Bulldogs got to get the midfield for officially getting the first down. It is at the 48-yard line, waiting for them to come out of the huddle here. Coach is calling in the play. Running back takes a snap, gives it to his running back, and it looks like he's able to power down and get enough for the first down. Big play there for TYAA. That is number 1, Anthony Justice.
Easton Hyde made the tackle, but as you mentioned, just by the half a length of the football, the Bulldogs will move the chains. First and 10, ball rests right at the 50-yard line, and clock works inside of 5:19 in our first quarter.
5:18 and counting, and we are right at midfield, officially in Claremore Sequoyah territory here, as TYAA is coming out for first down play after they get their first conversion of this afternoon's championship contest. Takes a snap and is able to run directly with it, and then he gets brought down almost immediately. Tackle is made by number 22. That is Wyatt Webster.
We had Montgomery on the carry, and as Mike mentioned, the defense showed up after about a 2-yard gain, so that's going to make it 2nd down and 8.
So TYAA moving the football here pretty good. We'll see if they are able to try to milk out the entire first quarter, which is what we saw in our first game. 4.5 minutes remaining here in quarter number 1. Takes the ball, and it looks like there may be looks like a fumble. Number 3 ended up recovering it for TYAA. That was Braylon Freeman. It's a loss of 1 officially, so that's going to make it 3rd down and 9.
Great play by Trenton Hall as he had shook the blocker and made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. As you mentioned, he actually knocked the ball loose, but it fell right in the arms of the quarterback, so they kept the football but lost a yard on the play. 3rd down, 9.
Better to lose a yard than lose possession in that case. And then a critical play coming up here for TYAA. They will have to get to the 40-yard line in order to keep this drive alive.
Thompson and Belcher will anchor the offensive line for the Bulldogs. They've been heavy up the middle, have only tried to go to the outside 1 time.
So QB takes a snap and gives it to his running back. Running back is able to break 1 tackle and gets tackled immediately by number 15 for Claremore Sequoyah. That's Riker Reynolds, being sure that he is stopped dead in his tracks there.
You know, one of the team moms came up and actually brought us a roster for the Claremore Eagles, and we asked her to highlight some of the big-time players. And I'll tell you what, the lady knows football because she highlighted Webster and Reynolds, and so far Reynolds has been a key on the defensive side of the football.
Webster and Reynolds, 2 of the 4 captains here this afternoon on the coin toss. It was Knox Maynard, number 6, Trenton Hall, number 7, Riker Reynolds, number 15, and number 22, Wyatt Webster. So here we go with a critical play here for TYAA as they're coming out of the huddle. 4th down and 9. They do have to get to the 40. Takes a snap, gives it to the running back, able to break 1 tackle, and he's got speed. And he gets past the 40-yard line and is brought down at around the 34-yard line. TYAA maintains possession with another 1st down run.
Riker Reynolds made the key stop on the far side of the field, but as you mentioned, it's enough to pick up the 1st down. And so far, the Bulldogs have only had 2 big runs on offense, but both times they were backed up more than 10 yards for a 1st down, and they picked it up both times.
And both runs completed by number 3, Braylon Freeman, keeping the drive alive here for the Bulldogs at TYAA. Looking to pick up their 2nd Mighty Mites championship this afternoon. As the 1st graders won earlier, there's a penalty on the field, and it is a false start against TYAA. They're going to bring that ball back 5 yards. They got a little bit antsy there coming out of the huddle there, Don.
Well, and that's going to happen a little bit when you deal with 2nd and 3rd graders. Somebody just went just a little bit early, and that's going to put them behind the chains at 1st down 15.
And like we mentioned in the 1st grade championship, this is a good opportunity. When you make mistakes at this level, there's so many lessons that you can take and learn for the future to be able to move forward, as you don't want to make those mistakes when you get older. Takes the snap, able to run, and he's got speed, and he almost clears the corner. Brought down by number 22 for Claremore Sequoyah. That's Wyatt Webster, one of the 4 captains that we have previously mentioned.
And you're one of the coaches talking to Easton Hyde as he actually made his first step inside, and he's playing the down defensive tackle spot, and I hear the coach talking to him. He wants him to stay outside, and that will keep that run from being quite as productive.
Trying to get them to where they can't break containment. And so if they can contain them, they can at least make it only 7 or 8 yards where they cannot escape. And you want to take away the big run from them today.
Ball's loose.
And there is a fumble trying to see. It looks like they may have recovered it. And they do. That was 1 second away from being disastrous, Don.
That was Birmingham, the quarterback, number 4. He had a little problems with the exchange. And, again, a heads-up play on the young man's part. He didn't try to do anything fancy with it, just fell on it, kept the drive alive, and we're almost through quarter number 1. We only have 25 seconds left in the first quarter.
But there is a 3rd down play coming up here, so we're going to try to see if TYAA will do something with this coming up on 3rd down and 9. Ball at the 34-yard line. Takes the snap, able to run away from it, and only able to get a yard or two on that, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So just like in our first grade Mighty Mites championship, we have a scoreless 0-0 game after one quarter here in the second grade Mighty Mites championship. Short commercial break. We will be back. This is the INFC championships here on Southern Sports Network.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going to change us now. Spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going to change us, ripping out pages. I'm going to change us now.
Scoreless first quarter between Claremore, Sequoyah, and TYAA. This is the second grade Mighty Mites championship in the INFC. Want to thank our sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, official sponsor of the INFC, and Todd's Coffee Roasters out of Oklahoma City, the official sponsor of the Southern Sports Network. Mike Stewart here with Don Rice. We are bringing the action to you live here at Lincoln Christian High School, Willie George Field, and Dennis Byrd Stadium, home of the victorious Lincoln Christian Bulldogs, who won their high school playoff game in blowout fashion last night.
We come out of the break, and the Bulldogs look over a 4th down and 9. And the key to the game so far is they've picked up 2 critical 4th downs. Can they do it 3 times in a row?
And Braylon Freeman was able to deliver for TYAA, number 3 on both of those. He'll be the guy you want to keep an eye out on this one. They run, they give it, and they have a run, and he is only able to get 2 yards. Sequoyah is going to come up with the football. Claremore Sequoyah Eagles will have their possession here finally. Ball being spotted at the 33-yard line.
Credit Reynolds one more time for making a key tackle for the defense. This one was big because now we'll get to see the Eagle offense for the first time. As you said, the TYAA Bulldogs ate up the entire first quarter.
And so they will be on defense for the first time, and then we'll see what the 4 captains can do for Claremore Sequoyah as they will have the ball in their possession for the first time this morning. QB takes a snap, gives it to his right. There's a fumble on the field, and it's recovered. Looks like it's by number 1 for TYAA, Anthony Justice, able to come up with the ball and a critical turnover on the first offensive play for the Eagles.
Man, you got to love the coach, though, for the Claremore Eagles. You never want to see a turnover, but what does he do? He goes right straight to his quarterback, pats him on the helmet. You got to keep the boys fired up, and I love the fact that he didn't get on his player because no one performs better if you yell at him.
Especially at this level. Again, you're dealing with first and second graders, and they're learning the game. So, like we had mentioned, it's better to make these mistakes now so that way they can learn for when they get older. TYAA coming up with the ball. QB takes a snap, able to run, breaks a tackle, and he gets brought down almost immediately. That's number 10, Jace Mackey for TYAA, and he's down.
And Knox Maynard is the one that lowered his helmet and put a nice tackle on him. We hope the quarterback's all right.
We're going to take an injury timeout, 30 seconds. Hopefully he can recover. We'll be right back on SSN.
Right back.
She was a good companion, eyes like the Grand Canyon. She was an American beauty, with her wayfares on in the summer sun. Her touch felt like a loaded gun. Wish I had held her long.
From break, and Jace Mackey was able to walk off, not entirely on his own power, but him walking off is a good sign, Don.
Absolutely. You know, part of it may be that he's cold, and coach is over there talking to him. It looks like we may have something of a leg injury because he's limping a little bit, so we'll go to another quarterback.
Weather is 38 degrees. There was only a gain of a yard on that play. So we are looking at a 3rd down and roughly 7 once they come out of the huddle here.
You know, one of the things that's played out that I've noticed is the great pursuit by the Blue Shirts. The Sequoyah defense, they floated the ball about as well as any second-grade team I've seen, and that's probably why they're in the championship ballgame here today.
Defense can definitely win championships, able to have a good mental effort, keeping their heads in the game after that turnover. So another big run here, and he may take it all the way to the house. Touchdown TYAA. Braylon Freeman gets them on the board.
Freeman used the exact same style we talked about that the Bulldog running back used in that first game. He delayed just a bit in the backfield, gave him a chance to read his block, bounced it out to the right, and took it into the house. 6 points, Bulldogs.
So critical one-point conversion coming up here with it being Mighty Mites football. There's always a run for a one-point conversion. 4:51 remaining in the first half. Second quarter action here, getting that touchdown. Now, Braylon Freeman set himself up to be the top player for TYA in the second grade contest. He had the 2 runs on that first possession, which extended on fourth down both times, and then with the delayed look, he's able to get into the end zone and get them on the board for the first time this afternoon.
One more time, we found out how important turnovers are. The Eagles gave the ball back to the Bulldogs after only running one offensive play, and the Bulldogs wasted little time putting up reservations for 6.
So they're going to look to make it 7 here if they can get this conversion into the end zone. And fumbles the ball almost immediately. And that was Braylon Freeman, the young man that scored the touchdown for TYAA, not able to get his hands on that one. But with 4:51 remaining in the first half, our score, TYAA 6, Sequoyah Claremore, nothing. We will be back after 30 seconds. This is the INFC second grade championship on SSN.
Feel the warmth deep down in my bones. I know that I am home.
I miss him too.
Love brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
Sequoyah Claremore with the ball as they start their second possession. They had one play and they fumbled it, and they hope to do better here. Running the football, able to get at least 3 to 4 yards before he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
That's Wyatt Webster from the shotgun staff. He took the football himself, and as Michael mentioned, picked up about 4 on the play, second down.
Sequoyah Claremore hoping to do a lot. They've already done a lot better just off that one play they did on their first possession, which was a fumble. TYAA was able to take advantage of that with Braylon Freeman getting into the end zone on that lengthy touchdown run. Takes the snap, running right up the middle, and that's going to be near the first down marker at the 49-yard line. They officially have to cross midfield to get the first.
Anthony Justice on the tackle for the Bulldogs. It's third down, less than a yard.
So 3rd and inches here. They just have to cross the 50 to be able to maintain possession and get a new set of downs here. Taking the ball, and they're just running directly up the middle. And, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. First down, Sequoyah Claremore.
Easton Hyde with a nice block. They're jumping in behind big number 75 and keeping it simple, just working it basically between the 2 guards and picking up 2 to 4 yards every play.
Ball officially at the 47-yard line, and Dave just ran it straight up the gut 3 times, able to get enough for the first down yardage. And clock is ticking here, 3:13 remaining, and it is a running clock until we get to 2 minutes in Mighty Mites football, so keep that in mind.
And don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have a short halftime presentation from the Lady Eagles. I don't see any cheerleaders for the Bulldogs, so we'll be entertained by the Sequoyah cheerleaders at halftime.
So another run up the middle, and TYAA is struggling to contain this. They're getting 3-4 yards every play. But the clock is not necessarily the best friend of the Sequoyah Claremore Eagles right now. They will still have to go about 44 yards to get into the end zone here, Don.
Braylon Freeman filled the hole nicely from his linebacker spot. Made sure that the ball carrier did not break free. He picked up 3 on the play, and as you mentioned, with 2:32 left, they're going to have to probably go at a little bit quicker pace, pick up more than 3 yards per play, but they do have some timeouts left.
Yeah, and, you know, you wonder if they run a reverse here because typically at this level, running a reverse could definitely switch it up and maybe throw the defense off balance a little bit. QB takes a snap, and he is trying to get somewhere but doesn't. That was number 22 for Sequoyah Claremore, Wyatt Webster, and he only got maybe a yard on that one.
Miles Morrell was the first red shirt to get into the backfield. He turned the play back inside, help showed up in a hurry, and the Eagles are going to look over 3rd down and 8, and you can see the coach is going a little quicker now as the clock works inside of 1:50 to the halftime break.
So critical play here. It's only 3rd down. They have to get down to at least another 6 or 7 yards, and that one is going to be a penalty. That is going to be false start against Sequoyah Claremore. That doesn't help them. That's going to be another 5 yards they're going to have to get back done.
Now, if I'm the Claremore coach, I'm going to burn the timeout right here because the clock's going to run during this entire mark-off of the penalty. You've got 3 timeouts with 1:22 yet left. You better start using them.
Or maybe they believe in their players because it's still 3rd down. About 3rd down and 14 to go. They are just outside midfield. They're going to have to get down to the 37-yard line to maintain 1st down here. Takes the snap, able to run. They finally go with a reverse, but there is a player that is on him. Cannot quite get the stiff arm, and he's brought down, actually loses a yard on that play. So well sniffed out by TYAA.
Braylon Freeman was not fooled on the reverse. He played it just as the coach draws it up, kept outside containment, got some help on the tackle, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and long, and now they still don't take a timeout.
Which is very, if you're one of the players, you got to be frustrating, like, because you're down inside 25 seconds. And Freeman, just got to give him credit for being a stud on both sides of the ball. Scoring the touchdown, had the 2 long 4th down runs to keep the drive alive. And now there's a timeout. I think the coaching staff finally recognized that they only got 20 seconds left on.
Well, one of the things they may be thinking about, too, though, is we don't want to give the Bulldogs very much time either because if we don't pick up the 1st down, they'll have at least enough opportunities to run 1 or 2 plays.
Yeah, and the way that they've been running with Braylon Freeman this afternoon, he's capable of breaking a long one off at any second, as we are well aware.
And as we saw in that first game, 2 scores sometimes is enough to win in Mighty Mite football. There's not a lot of comebacks.
And with the clock running down and, you know, it's often out of reach to where you don't have time to build a comeback because the running clock and then it only stops inside 2 minutes anyway, there's not much that you can really do at this level.
Unless you get a turnover, which was the difference in the first ball game, is the Bulldogs got the only turnover of the game, and they converted it into 6 points. And we saw a turnover here, and this TYAA team turned that into 6 points as well.
And they turned it into 6 points in this game on the very next play. Well, the very next series, 3 plays later.
Yes, sir.
As we get back to live action here, waiting for Sequoyah Claremore to come out of the huddle. Eagles with a critical juncture here. They have to find a way to be able to get down to the 37-yard line to maintain and keep this drive alive.
Got a penalty on the far side. The only thing I can figure out is either we've got too many men on the field or somebody actually just lined up wrong. We've got 1 coming off, so I think they broke the huddle with 9 players.
Yeah, and it's 8 men on the field for Mighty Mites, and so that's another 5-yard penalty. We're looking at least 20 yards that they're going to have to be able to convert. Now, in the first game, we thought that TYAA was dead to rights until their quarterback was able to explode on 4th and long. So nothing is ever over until the play's done. Takes the snap, able to run right up the middle. He's following his blockers, but it's not going to be enough. Well short of even getting back to the original line of scrimmage. And with 15 seconds left, there is a timeout on the field. We'll take one with them. 30 seconds. We'll be right back on SSN.
She was a good companion, eyes like the Grand Canyon. She was an American beauty with her wayfarers on in the summer sun. Her touch felt like a loaded gun. Wish I had held her long.
15 seconds left here in the second quarter. This is the second grade INFC Mighty Mites championship game here at Lincoln Christian High School. Mike Stewart here with Don Rice, and TYAA has one more opportunity to break a big run if they can and get into the end zone.
Well, the Eagles will get the ball coming out of the second half. We don't kick it off, but they'll have the ball to start the second half. So this is a very key juncture in the ball game to keep this score at 6 going into the break.
Critical juncture here, and then with 15 seconds left, clock does stop inside 2 minutes for Mighty Mites football. Otherwise, it's a running clock. Looks like an offensive lineman had jumped off sides. It's going to be a false start, I believe, against TYAA, and it's going to back them up 5 yards.
With the explosiveness of their quarterback being backed up 5 yards, probably doesn't. It's not critical.
It isn't critical, but, you know, with all of the touchdown stopping tackles that we've had inside the 5-yard line, maybe a defender is able to get there in case something breaks out. It'll be very interesting as the ball is now spotted at the 46-yard line. Offensive line for TYAA has to be careful not to jump off sides as the ball snapped here. Takes the snap. Delayed handoff here, giving it to Freeman. Freeman breaks a tackle, but he is tackled down at the 49-yard line. Number 15 for Sequoyah Claremore said he's not having any of that. That was Riker Reynolds, and we are at the end of the first half. The score at the break, TYAA off the strength of a long touchdown run by Braylon Freeman is up over Sequoyah Claremore 6-0. We will be back after the halftime break right here on the Southern Sports Network.
Hey, Dean Blandino here. And guess what? Football season is right around the corner. And to watch the best live broadcasts in high school sports in Northeast Oklahoma, download the Southern Sports Network app. And check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I just did. Give them a like. It's the best broadcast in high school sports, and not just that area, in the country. Check them out.
The holidays are here, and Dick's Sporting Goods has all the best gifts for everyone on your list. The hottest footwear from Jordan, Nike, and Hoka. And the coolest apparel from all the best brands, plus must-have gifts from Yeti, Callaway, and The North Face. When you're running short on time, shop Dicks.com, where 1 hour pickup is always an option. And with our best price guarantee, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. This season, give the gift of sport. Every holiday starts at Dick's.
What you started.
I can feel the warmth deep down in my bones. When I walk through that open door, I know that I am home.
I listen to you.
You're my home. You're my home. Love brings us here. Together we can do no wrong. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
Bundle up the entire family this season with jackets, hats, gloves, and more from Dick's Sporting Goods. With the latest looks from the best brands like The North Face, Patagonia, Columbia, and more. Boots that score on comfort and style from Sorel and Doc Martens. Cozy accessories for the whole family. When you're running short on time, shop Dicks.com, where 1 hour pickup's always an option. And with our best price guarantee, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. Shop in-store or online. Every holiday starts at Dick's.
At Northeastern State University in Muskogee, we take care of our students so they can take care of others. Choose from a variety of healthcare degrees, including physician assistant studies, nursing, occupational therapy, speech language pathology, and more. Answer the call at Northeastern State University.
Bounce and then hit. You're gonna do it yourself. Right?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now.
Dad, what do you think?
I like it.
Spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes now that have just begun. And the purple sun. There's many reasons we are what we've become. I'm going through changes, ripping out pages. I'm going through changes now.
Hey sis.
The College of Business and Technology at Northeastern State University is where education meets industry. Our in-demand undergraduate and graduate programs have real-world focus with practical workforce applications. Choose from degrees in accounting, marketing, supply chain management, information systems, healthcare administration, data analytics, and more. Lead with experience from Northeastern State University.
She was a good companion, eyes like the Grand Canyon. She was an American beauty, with her wafers on in the summer sun. Her touch felt like a loaded gun. Wish I had held her long.
Mike Stewart here with Don Rice calling the second half of today's INFC Mighty Mike's second great championship game between TYAA and the Red, leading 6-0 over the boys in blue from Sequoyah Claremore. The Eagles will have the ball to start the second half. Don, what do you make of that first half?
Well, the turnover. I mean, we said it in the first game. They're so important in youth football, and especially when you have a running clock. Possessions are at a premium anyway, and if you give the ball back without the opportunity to go score, it hurts you every time.
And they will get a nice 5-yard gain is Sequoyah Claremore on that first play from scrimmage. Running clocks here in Mighty Mike's football until you get to 2 minutes left in each half. So already down to 7.5 minutes off the one play. Sequoyah Claremore just hoping to get on the board so they can deadlock this thing at 6. QB takes a snap, and he is able to sidestep one guy, able to run almost near the first down yardage. That is going to be number 22, Wyatt Webster, able to get about a gain of 4 on that.
Webster on the carry, as you mentioned, and it was Braylon Freeman and company on the tackle. And it'll be third down in less than a yard to move the sticks for a first down for the Eagles.
Third down in about 1.5 yards. They'll have to get to the 50 to get to the first down here. Keep in mind that all possessions, when they start fresh in Mighty Mike's football, do begin at the 40-yard line.
We don't kick off and we don't punt. In fact, we won't punt until we get past the 4th grade in our championships today.
So something to keep in mind as we're watching these youngsters play football, as they're learning the game and just trying to modify it to where it be most competitive for them on the field. Third down and less than 2. And we have all kind of stuff happening along the line. And there's laundry on the line as we will have Sequoyah Claremore backed up for about 5 yards.
You know, that's a big penalty because when you look at it, it's third and 1.5 yards. Now you're going to have to pick up 6.5 yards to pick up the first down. And it was just one of the offensive linemen just couldn't hold his stance any longer.
Yeah, and noticing with the younger guys, they're learning the patience to stay on the line until the ball snap, and that goes for both defense and offense.
Now you wonder if the Claremore group might try to go on 2 here and entice the defense to jump into the neutral zone and get that 5 yards back free.
Clock's going to take downside 5.5 minutes by the time they get this off. And again, it'd be third down at about 6.5 here.
That's great discipline from the defense because they're going on a hard count. No one moved.
Great coaching by the coaches for TYAA. Able to give the ball to the running back, and he's able to escape a couple of tackles and is brought down immediately just short of the 50. Braylon Freeman with a hard, heavy tackle there to prevent him from getting to the first down.
He got back almost all of the penalty yards, so now we're back to fourth down right where the ball was, 4th yard and a half. And as you mentioned, Braylon Freeman with a picture tackle got the head out in front, used nothing but the shoulders, and it was a sure tackle, no gain after Freeman made the hit. 4th down short.
He had what you would call one of those form tackles. They always want you to tackle with the arms and with the neck so where you're not hitting them in the head. QB takes the ball, breaks one tackle, is not able to get to the 50, and TYAA is going to take the ball on a turnover on downs.
Speaking about the 50, Jonathan McCain, number 50, was the one that finished the tackle off there. I didn't see who was the original tackler. I believe it was number 33, Mr. Rushing. He shook one tackle, but plenty of pursuit from the red shirts, and the ball goes over on downs, as Mike said.
Trayvon Rushing with the lead there on multiple TYA Bulldogs there as they're going to take over the 49-yard line. And I would expect Freeman to get the ball here. Wonder if there would be a delayed handoff that set him up like it was on the last touchdown in the first half.
He definitely showed the speed to get it to the end zone, so we don't have to have a whole lot of trickeration when you can motor like he is, and he is into the secondary.
And he is separating and will take this for a 49-yard TYAA touchdown.
Anthony Justice to the end zone, but we do have a flag, and according to the Sequoyah coach, we're bringing it back.
So it looks like a hold may have sprung him loose, and that's exactly what happened. So TYAA will not be able to double up their score just yet.
So a big break for the defense. They'll have to get some regrouping because there was not a single blue shirt that touched the running back during that entire play.
Yeah, he had one stutter step, Don, and he was just on his way, able to separate from the nearest defender, and he was like, the more he ran toward the end zone, the more he was breaking away from the defender.
Well, they found something they like on the right side because both of their big runs have come off the right side.
And the clock is continuing to tick down inside 2:40 remaining here in the third quarter. Keep in mind, running quarters in Mighty Mites for both first grade and second grade championship games. As you hear Claremore Sequoiah's parents and fans stomping, and you can probably hear it there on the audio there on your computer screen or TV screen. They're trying to fire up their kids on defense.
Got a big crowd here. It's very impressive how many kids, parents showed up to watch the INFC championships, and we do have another flag before the snap. Procedure on the offense.
Yeah, so they're going to be backed up 5 yards, and the parents, they're just continuing to get louder, as you can hear there on your audio, feeling like they have home field advantage, and they definitely have a majority of fans here this afternoon at Lincoln Christian. So back inside their own territory at their own 49-yard line. Now they have to get 12 to 13 yards to get it down to the 39-yard line of Sequoyah Claremore to get the first down. Clock inside 1:40 remaining here in the third quarter.
With the Bulldogs on top 6-0.
Absolutely, on that first quarter touchdown run by Braylon Freeman. Freeman with the ball. Tackled from behind. Good defense by Sequoyah Claremore to try to keep their hopes of winning this championship game alive. Clock ticking down inside minute 15, and they continue to back TYAA up with their defense.
You know, we talked about it in the first half, but one more time, that's just excellent team pursuit on the defensive side. That was Reynolds and Maynard that just simply didn't give up. Also on the last tackle was Hunter Logston, number 21, with a nice play for one of the blue shirts.
So the fans are into it here. Second down play and long, and they give it to the running back, and he's brought down by a host of Eagles there just inside the 50-yard line.
Longston, one more time. He gets an attaboy from the coach, and that's 2 plays in a row that number 21 has stepped up and made sure that there was no gain on the play. In fact, might have lost a yard on that play. It's third down, and it looks like third down at about 12 with 23 seconds left in quarter number 3.
Likely the last offensive play, regardless of result, with the running clock here. And they will still have to get to the 39-yard line of Sequoyah Claremore to be able to extend this drive. And they may take this down all the way to the end of the third quarter. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. But they're running out onto the field with time running out 1 second, and they don't run anything. Into the third quarter here, scoreless third quarter. Our score here at Lincoln Christian High School. TYAA still with the lead, 6-0 over Sequoyah Claremore, 30 seconds, and we will be bringing the fourth quarter to you right here, INFC Championship on Southern Sports Network.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going to change this now. Spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going to change this, ripping out pages. I'm going to change this now.
So, fourth quarter time here at Lincoln Christian High School. Mike Stewart with Don Rice. Want to thank our sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods, the official sponsor of INFCU football, and Todd's Coffee Roasters, the official sponsor of the Southern Sports Network. And this has been a game here, Don. 1 touchdown, and Sequoyah Claremore's trying to get the ball back so they can deadlock it.
Well, their defense has played.
The defense has played really good so far, and there has been a tremendous effort on Sequoyah Claremore to make sure that they are able to stay competitive in this game. As we get back here, this is going to be a critical third down. Again, they have to get to the 49-yard line. I'm sorry, the 39-yard line to keep the driver alive. And that one isn't going anywhere. It looks like it was a drive, like a run for a 1-yard loss there, Don.
Well, and we've talked about it before, team pursuit. There was 7 blue helmets that actually had an opportunity to touch the running back on that particular play. The only one that didn't get in the tackle was probably by design because he stayed back deep. So it's fourth down. This is a huge play for the Eagle defense in order to turn the ball back over to their offense.
Sequoyah Claremore needs this turnover to keep the game alive as they are running out of time here in the fourth. There's a fumble on the ball, and it looks like it may have been recovered by Sequoyah Claremore. They're saying that it was downed, and it's fourth down. Sequoyah Claremore's going to get the ball anyway, regardless of who recovered it. So here's their chance. They're going to have an opportunity to deadlock the game as there is 6:54 and counting remaining here in the fourth quarter.
And keep in mind, the Bulldogs were not successful on their point after, so if the Eagles can get the tying touchdown, then we have an all-important point after attempt, could give them a 7-6 lead.
And with the time running down, that may be the extra point, if they are able to get into the end zone, could be the game decider. QB takes a snap, and it looks like there's a penalty before they can even get rid of it. And that's going to be a false start against Sequoyah Claremore. So, again, the youngsters learning patience on the line, not trying to jump off too early, and it is spotted at the 47-yard line.
Behind the chains again, and that's one of the things that kills. I don't care what brand of football, how old you are, happen to go more than 10 yards is critical, and even more so when you're only in the second grade.
So ball at the 47, 5:45 remaining here in regulation for this afternoon's championship contest. Takes the ball, able to give it to his running back, and he's able to be patient. Gets brought down right at around the 44-yard line. And that should be enough here to get them a short yardage play coming up. Looks like it'd be second down and about 5 to go.
That's Anthony Justice on the tackle, but the running back for the Eagles, made one man miss, got into the secondary in a hurry, and picked up about 9 on the play.
So 2nd down and 5, or roughly 4 in this instance. Takes the snap. There's a fumble, but the quarterback has enough wherewithal to be able to immediately recover. That was almost a disaster there, Don.
Heads-up play by Wyatt Webster, as you mentioned. He saw the ball, got on it, but again, mistakes and penalties are very critical for the Eagles right now.
Inside 4.5 minutes, and this is going to be a 3rd down play where they're going to have to get at least 7 yards. Ball being spotted right around the 44-yard line. They're, roughly 5 yards, I would say, is what they're going to have to get because the first down marker is going to be at the 38. Takes the ball, decides to run it himself, and he's still running. Big play there by the quarterback, number 22, Wyatt Webster. Figures, hey, if I can't hand it off and it doesn't work, I can just run it up the middle and get some yards that way. But now we have what could be a game-deciding play, 4th down and 3.
Absolutely, because if you give the ball back to the Bulldogs here with roughly 3.5 minutes left, then you're going to have to hope that you can get a turnover. If not, the Bulldogs can pretty much run the clock out by just simply getting 1 first down.
TYAA up 6-0. Sequoyah Claremore looking to keep the drive alive as we tick down inside 3.5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
See one of the Bulldog coaches come onto the field. He's imploring his defense to make the stop right here because this could be a game-deciding play right here on defense.
And there is an offside. That's going to be an automatic 1st down, and the fans from Sequoyah Claremore love it.
We talked about it a little bit ago. Did you have enough confidence that your team won't move to go on 2, and they called it that time, and it paid off for them? First down, Eagles.
Keeps the drive alive for Sequoyah Claremore, and TYAA is going to try to buck up and stop this with 2:54 and counting remaining here in quarter number 4. Ball officially spotted at the 36-yard line. QB takes a snap, gives it to his running back. Running back goes free. He's able to break tackles, and he's on his way. And he gets brought down inside the 20. Big first down play, first down run for Sequoyah Claremore.
Braylon Freeman had to lay out to make the tackle. He did it on a shoestring type, but he saved 6 right there, and the ball rested at the 19-yard line with 2:19 left in the ball game.
Freeman responsible for the only touchdown this afternoon so far, making potentially the championship-saving tackle there at the 15-yard line. Clock ticking down at 2:08, 2:07 and counting. Sequoyah Claremore getting momentum. QB takes a snap, gives it back to his running back. Running back looking to make room, and then he's on his way. Tackled at the 10-yard line. That is number 15 for Sequoyah Claremore, Riker Reynolds, getting 5 yards on the carry.
One more time, we've got Bice, and we've got Freeman on the stop. The gain was of about 5, so now it's 2nd down and 5, and they can actually get a 1st and goal right at about the 4-yard line.
And time is running out as we are under 90 seconds remaining in regulation.
Keep in mind, though, the Sequoyah Eagles do have their 2 timeouts, so they've got plenty of time to operate.
QB takes a snap. He fakes it. He's running. He's on his feet. Into the end zone for a Sequoyah Claremore touchdown. Number 22, Wyatt Webster. And we have a critical extra point play coming up that could decide the 2nd grade INFC championship.
I think if I'm the Eagles coach, I may take a timeout right here, water the horses, make sure you got your play set 100% before you run it, because this extra point right here with only 1:11 left could be the difference in the ball game.
Game on the line for both teams here, and this is the kind of drama you would expect in the championship game.
I wouldn't expect anything different, though, than the quarterback to take the ball right up the middle. That's where they've been making the most of their yardage.
QB with the ball. He's running up the middle. Defense says they're not having any of it, and he's brought down at the 1. So we may have overtime here. unless TYAA is able to craft something here with their top player today. And we will go take a 30-second commercial break and see what Braylon Freeman does on the other side of this break.
She was a good companion, eyes like the Grand Canyon. She was an American beauty, with her wayfarers on in the summer sun. Her touch felt like a loaded gun. Wish I had held her long.
We are back live here. Tie ball game, TYAA with the ball. This is the second grade INFC Mighty Mites Championship. Mike Stewart with Don Rice. We have 71 seconds remaining. And will Braylon Freeman be able to take it to the house here, Don?
Since we're inside of 2 minutes, now we're back to running the clock as we do during all football games.
And there we go! All the way down, nobody to catch him. TYAA touchdown!
Well, you said, will they be able to contain Braylon Freeman? And I guess the answer is no.
60 yards to pay dirt, and Braylon Freeman on both sides of the ball has to be the MVP of this afternoon's game.
Plenty of tackles and 2 touchdowns, so unless, well, we said it, they left a little time left on the clock. Now can the Eagles come up with their own little bit of magic? The point after, one more time, is critical.
It will be big here, the difference between a 6-point game and a 7-point game. 1 minute remaining. Braylon Freeman able to just go pillar to post, coast to coast for 60 yards. And now we have the conversion here. Takes the snap. And they're not going anywhere. 2-point conversion will be incomplete. We'll take a 30-second timeout. TYAA up 12-6 over Sequoyah Claremore. This is the INFC second grade championship.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going to change this now. Spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going to change this, ripping out pages. I'm going to change this now.
We are back here, 60 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of this second grade championship game. And I don't want to sound like a prognosticator, Don, but Braylon Freeman, just based upon the effort that he's put in today, comes up with possibly the game-winning touchdown.
They've shown more explosiveness, I guess you have to say that, than the Eagles have, but the Eagles still have a minute left. We'll see what kind of magic they can come up with.
So running, breaking tackles, only getting a yard. That's number 15, one of the 4 captains there for Sequoyah Claremore, Riker Reynolds. And time is of the essence.
The Eagles will go in a hurry because they're already sending them back to the line of scrimmage. Coach called 2 plays in the huddle.
Takes the snap, quarterback trying to run it, and he's brought down in the backfield and brought down by number 1 for TYAA, Anthony Justice. 25 seconds remaining, and there's a timeout call here by Sequoyah Claremore. We'll take one with them, too. Will TYAA hang on? We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Feel the warmth deep down in my bones. I know that I am home.
I miss him too.
Love brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
26 seconds. Time is running out for Sequoyah Claremore. This is the INFC second grade Mighty Mites championship game. Mike Stewart here with Don Rice calling the game for you on the Southern Sports Network. I want to thank everybody in Oklahoma tuning in from wherever you may be watching football this afternoon.
Well, the Bulldogs are trying to double up. As you may remember, they won the first grade championship. They did that by a final count of 19-6. Now they're trying to capture the second grade, and then we'll take a break and come back with fourth grade football at about noon.
Be sure to stick around for that. We appreciate you watching here anywhere where you may be at on the internet in Oklahoma or outside of Oklahoma. Ball thrown, nearly intercepted, pass broken up at the 43-yard line.
Guess who? Number 3, Braylon Edwards, was right there to break it up. Or Braylon Freeman was there to break it up, and he just continues to put marks by his name to be the MVP of the second grade INFC championship shootout. Timeout, Eagles.
Timeout, and we'll take one with them back in 30 seconds.
She was a good companion, eyes like the Grand Canyon. She was an American beauty, with her wayfarers on in the summer sun. Her touch felt like a loaded gun. Wish I had held her long.
Play here on offense for Sequoyah Claremore. They are down, and they are trying to make a rally to try to force either overtime or maybe could take the lead on the extra point, but this is their last opportunity. They have to get the midfield at the 50-yard line on 4th and 11.
And no timeouts left.
No timeouts and 21 seconds. So this could pretty much be the game. If they don't hit midfield, TYAA will claim its second championship this afternoon.
That's exactly right. TYAA can come out and run the one play that everyone wants to learn. They like to put up in the victory formation.
And we'll see what happens here. Sequoyah Claremore with the ball. 4th down and 11. Quarterback takes the snap. Able to get free. But is tripped up at the 44 and let the celebration begin as TYAA will claim both the first and second grade Mighty Mites championships here in the INFC. Before the celebration, there is an injury timeout. We want to be respectful of that. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be right back here on the Southern Sports Network.
Feel the warmth deep down in my bones. I know that I am home.
I miss him too.
Love brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
So the good news is the injured player for Sequoyah Claremore is going to be able to get up. Not sure if he's going to be able to walk off on his own power. Well, he's walking off pretty fairly, but looks like he got dinged up a little bit. And, you know, that's number 27 there for Sequoyah Claremore, Ryder Bowen. But like you mentioned earlier, Don, before on the opposite side of this break, they're about to get into the best play in football, victory formation.
Yeah, you could say this game's over because the New York Jets are not playing in this ball game. Or was it the Giants that fumbled it on 4th down that time? That should do it because
the game is over and the celebration's going to begin. TYAA goes 2 for 2 here.
Eagles had a timeout and they burn it. So we stop the clock with only 8 ticks left.
Delay of the inevitable is not denial. As the clock ticks down and the game's officially over by a score of 12-6, your TYAA Bulldogs are the 2022 second grade INFC Mighty Mites champions.
Man, hats off to all the people that showed up for this ball game. This is a very well-attended second grade football game. There's as many people here at this stadium as I've seen at a few high school games I've been to this year.
Yeah, and credit to these parents. Again, these guys were playing in 40-degree weather, mainly below 40-degree weather for most of the game. And so we'll run through the rosters one more time because they deserve it. So for Sequoyah Claremore, the Eagles, again, their association president, Justin Neer, lead contact Aaron Hall, head coach Hunter Webster, assistant coaches Trevor Hall, Dalton Reynolds, and Barry Webster. And the players, number 6, Knox Maynard, number 7, Trenton Hall, number 8, Asher Murray, number 11, Zane Shader, number 13, Jackson Hadley, number 15, Riker Reynolds, number 21, Hunter Logsden, number 22, Wyatt Webster, number 27, Ryder Bowen, and number 75, Easton Hyde. Now for the champions. For the second time today, TYAA Bulldogs Association President Lyndon Goff. Head coaches are a duo tandem of Coach Tate and Coach Clayton. Assistant coaches are Coach Birmingham and Coach Morrell. Players include Anthony Justice, number 1, Chance Montgomery, number 2, the MVP of today's championship game, number 3, the man that can do it all on offense and defense, Braylon Freeman. Carter Weiss, number 5, Michael Birmingham, the 3rd, number 4, Dash Durant, number 7, Jace Mackey, number 10, number 12, Samuel Tyra, number 30, Braden Sample, number 33, Trayvon Rushing, number 40, Kobe Thompson, number 50, Jonathan McCain, number 55, Keandre Belcher, and number 75, Miles Morrell. Don, how would you sum up the championship today?
1 turnover. That was the difference in the ballgame because the Eagles turned it over right at the start of the second quarter, and it took 1 play for the Bulldogs to go score, and that's the difference in the ballgame.
And 1 turnover was also like the first grade championship game earlier, which allowed 1 scored touchdowns separation in both championship games. So it's almost like deja vu for TYAA, and they'll take it either way in first and second grade. So the score final here in the second grade championship game, 12-6 TYAA over Sequoyah Claremore. This is Mike Stewart for Don Rice signing off. We hope to see you back here for the next championship game on the Southern Sports Network.